What's up guys, Dell here. We got a cool little review, so make sure you guys stick around and find out exactly what it is and see if you guys can use it for your flight sim setups. Okay, so if you're like me and you're working with limited space on your flight sim rig, I have a piece of hardware here that is so compact, yet it's going to be very useful, especially if you are very tight and just don't have a lot of space. Right here in this box, I have the ROWSFIRE A101. Today we're going to unbox it. I'm going to give it a test later on, and I'll give you guys my full thoughts on if this is what you need. Now, before we get into what's in here, I'm going to need a few things from you guys just to help the channel out. Scroll down, click that subscribe button. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and make sure you guys leave a comment down below once you guys watch the video. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. I was lucky enough to be sent this package by ROWSFIRE, which is a side branch of the Mech DIY brand. They have numerous flight sim products available for, flight sim enthusiasts. From the mini cockpit overhead panel like this right here, all the way up to motorized throttle quadrants and even a full-blown 737 overhead panel DIY kit. I mean, you put the thing together yourself. I mean, it's pretty damn cool. Now, like I said previously, this is the A101, and it's their compact version of the Airbus overhead panel made for limited spaces. So we're going to open this thing up and check it out. All right, so we got the box here for the ROWSFIRE A101. We're going to open this thing up and check out what the hardware for this thing looks like. First off, I really love the cover of this box. I know this is not irrelevant at all to the review of this, but the box of this is really cool. I like the whole layout of everything with the Airbus, cockpit and everything. It's pretty cool little picture. All right, so we opened it up here. Looks like we have some like a QR code. Just find the QR code and you'll scan it with your phone. It will take you to a Google Drive. Now, I will say there is something coming to this where you will no longer have to be scanning a QR code. They come with their own. It's going to be coming with its own installer here pretty soon. So this part right here will be eventually phased out, so you won't have to be worrying about doing any of that. So we'll just set that off to the side there. Of course, you get this nice little foam padding, and there is the unit itself. Of course, it comes with a USB-C cord. We'll set that off to the side as well. And here is the unit. Now, straight out of the gate, this thing is solid. Listen, that's a solid piece of metal there. It looks like we have some Visa mounts on the back of the unit here. Those are definitely threaded. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that on the camera or not. Those are definitely threaded. Looking at the front here, just again, I'm going to tell you guys the good with the bad, and like the unit itself so far feels solid. It does feel solid. Now that said, all right, I can tell you just by looking, the circles, let me see if I can get this. You can look right here, the switch itself is not centered with the circle. I mean, I may be nitpicking here, but that's just something that caught my eye. And another thing that I can tell, this is the overhead knob is definitely 3D printed. I don't know if you guys will see if I can get this thing to come in right here. You can kind of see some imperfections right in here with the knob, looks like with the 3D print. Nothing major, nothing major at all. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but that is there. With the switches itself, I like. They feel really good, really clicky. I don't know if you guys can hear that over the mic. I like that. So of course, you have the strobes, you have the beacon light, wing lights, nav and logo lights, runway turn-off lights, a three-way switch for the landing lights with the retract off and on, three-way switch for your nose lights, off, taxi, and takeoff. Of course, you have your seatbelt switch and your no smoking, which, depending on which Airbus you're flying, more than likely you probably have the, what is it now? The no devices. So far, it's pretty cool. USB-C on the side connection into, let's see. Okay, so USB-C to a USB-A. So if you have a maybe you have an older motherboard, you should still be good as far as hooking that part up. I do like the VESA mounts on the back. That's a very cool feature to be able to put it on a mount, like a desk mount or something. I do like that. That's very, very nice. Just some more feedback on something that I think personally would be a good idea. Maybe where the ROWSFIRE logo is at right here. Maybe we could have done a APU switch, or maybe a fuel switch. I don't know. Just some ideas. Because there's enough room there for maybe another button. We could have done that there, and maybe put ROWSFIRE on the top. Just my idea. Just something that comes to mind whenever I'm thinking about looking at this as it is. Now there's not much to the whole unit. I mean, this is literally it. Like I said, all three, I mean, there's three switches, three-way switches built in, and two-way toggle switches as well. All of them feel very good, very clicky. You definitely will know what position your switch is in, because again, they have a nice click to them. So that's just, yeah. I mean, that's just that. Again, solid construction. It feels like. The metal casing is definitely a good touch, but other than that, man, that's pretty much it. This is the ROWSFIRE A101. All right, so that pretty much sums up exactly what this is. We're gonna hook it up onto the sim, which we're gonna go ahead and do now. Okay, guys, so we're sitting here on the ground in Fort Lauderdale, and we are going to check out the panel here, the ROWSFIRE A101 panel. Check it out and see how it works inside of the sim. We'll go overhead here. Somehow or another, we already have the APU going. We're going to ignore that. Just no big deal. If that's the case, we'll go ahead and turn on these pumps. Got to have those things on. Why not? Okay, so we're sitting on the ground here, and I can already tell you nothing. So I think I figured out the problem why it wasn't working the first time. The configuration that they sent me on MobiFlight was the wrong one. They sent me the one for the A103. I had to go into their actual page, and I found the version to download and install. So we're going to give that a try and see how it goes. So again, no smoking signs. Obviously they are working now. Seatbelt signs are working. Taxi lights are working for the nose. Wonderful. Nice and clicky. I really like that. Landing lights off, on. Fantastic. Let's do the runway turn-off lights. Working. Good. I like it. Strobes. I really need to find a different way to mount this thing. This is just temporary, I guess. Beacon lights working. Strobes are also working for the three-way switch. Wing lights are working, and nav logo lights are working as well. Fantastic. I like it. Now, I am seeing that the overhead light is not adjusting like it needs to. Now, this could be probably just an old profile or something of the sort. But I mean, if all the other switches are working, and surely it's just a simple input in MobiFlight is acting up. It's not a hard thing to fix, I'm sure. But yeah, man, this is pretty cool. This would save a ton of time. Like I said, you could have your APU switches here. Just have the APU master start switch or something. That'd be really cool. Or I don't know, maybe even the emergency lights. You could arm emergency lights. Be another good idea. Or I'll tell you one that would really come in handy. Dome light. Dome light right here. You could flip it on. That'd be super handy to have. I would rather, of all of them, I'd rather have a dome light. Now, one thing I am noticing about this particular unit that I have here is this one is not backlit. like the other ones that I have seen. This one is not, cover my light up. See, this one is not lit up like the other ones I've seen. There is a model out there that has a the lights built in, so that'd be really cool to have if you can get the newer model for that. But guys, listen, this is pretty cool. I will definitely can see myself using this thing when I'm flying, especially in the Fenix, fly-by-wire. Anything Airbus, this should work. Should work. Again, pretty cool, guys. I really like it. This right here is probably just something small, minor, no big deal. Maybe in MobiFlight I could figure it out myself. But other than that, guys, we're going to go back over to the board, give you guys my final thoughts, and let's go from there. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on this thing. I feel like this is actually a very handy product to have. It's fairly cheap, you know, but it's very cool to have on the sim. It would definitely give you some quick, easy access, but give you a little bit more realism in your sim. The build quality is I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Again, the little minor picky things with the buttons, or the switches, excuse me, the switches not being dead center of the circle. I mean, that's kind of, it doesn't affect the overall quality of it, but it shows quality control may be a little lacking on that part. But the whole unit itself is great. The knob here for the overhead brightness panel, I think it's minor. Definitely can be fixed with a MobiFlight profile adjustment. I don't think that's nothing major. But other than that, guys, this is very handy to have. I'm going to put a link to this down below in the description. So make sure you guys go check it out. Give them a follow over on YouTube, over on Instagram, TikTok. They have social media everywhere. Go give them a follow. Check out all their products, guys. It is very, very handy to have. They have a lot of cool items. So you guys could definitely pick up something that would be useful to yourself, you know, or, I mean, hey, it's getting close to Christmas. Maybe you can go, you know, pick one up for Christmas. Who knows? But thanks, guys, for watching. Big shout out to Mech DIY for sending me this thing, and I will definitely be incorporating this thing into my sim. How about you guys? We'll catch you guys for the next flight in the next video. Catch y'all later.